Recording, yeah?
Recording.
Recording, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, Shalom. Shalom. We'll praise Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Hashem Rakakadash. Don't want to see Apostles out. There's a great millstone, man. It's a GMS London brothers, you know, doing what it do. And yeah, go on, bang that.
That's right.
This is Daniel's chapter 2, verse 31. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. This image head was of fine gold.
So what's being broken down here is basically the rulerships that are going to take place on the planet Earth. And hey, if you know any history, these prophecies have come to pass. Now this book was written a very long time ago. This was in the time of the Babylonians, man, the Babylonian Empire. And that was, hey, basically it broke down all the rulerships that were going to come after it, man, and how they were going to fall and who was going to take it up after them. So that's basically within the Bible prophecy. And you're going to find out the Bible is a book all about prophecy.
That's right.
And hey, those prophecies still apply to the modern day. The Christians will tell you, oh, the book, oh, you know, the law, X or Y was fulfilled. They say the law was fulfilled. Well, in the law it talks about Yahushua's second coming. So how is that? That ain't happened yet. So how is a book fulfilled, man? Hey, man, this book's about prophecy and breaking down these prophecies. That's how you prove you're the true men and you have the true understanding of the Bible. So, you know, let's go on.
Yeah. Go on. This image head was of fine gold, his breasts and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay.
Yeah, and that's basically gonna go into all the different rulerships and different characteristics of these rulerships. Because hey, you can watch the History Channel, you'll hear all about Alexander the Greek, about the Persian Empire, but then you don't know it's also recorded within the Bible.
That's right.
Go on.
And it says, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and broke them.
And that stone, hey, that prophecy hasn't come to pass yet, because that stone is basically talking about these people on the sign, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, who are the Israelites according to the scriptures. Basically, the Israelites, they're basically gonna have a rulership, and that's gonna end up conquering the one of iron and of miry clay, and it's gonna go into the details of how these things are gonna go down.
I've got a piece on that.
Go on.
This is Daniel chapter 7. Verse 18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
That's it, man. The saints are going to take the kingdom and possess it forever. Hey, that's not happened yet. The thing is, we've got people in the land of Israel now, they're claiming to be these same people from this lineage. But then hold on, why do these prophecies not apply? They said the saints are going to take the kingdom and have it forever and ever. Benjamin Netanyahu, that guy's the leader of the state of Israel. That guy's getting impeached, man. That guy's been found out to be a dirty criminal, a low-life criminal, along with his wife. Where's eternal rulership in that? And this guy ain't even claiming to come from the lineage of King David. This guy's just, he's a puppet, man. Hey, these guys aren't the real Jews, man. The real Jews are the so-called Negroes according to the Bible. And the Bible will prove that inside and outside, man. You got a bunch of pretenders in the land, and if you say anything against them, they can just say, oh, anti-Semitism, and your ass is gonna get lambasted by the fucking media. You had like the Labour Party's meant to be having like a whole hubbub because they're having like, you know, this anti-Semitism within the Labour Party. That's just them showing you guys can't talk mess. Because the guys that are running this place behind closed doors, they come from that same lineage of these so-called Jews, which really they're Amalek according to the Bible. And these guys basically have the world on lock. They have it where you can't just go around talking shit about them, because hey man, you'll get put in check. That's why a lot of these guys that talk against them, they end up disappearing off the face of the earth, man. Yeah, man.
Psalms 148:14, he also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
Yeah, so those saints are the children of Israel. Because you go to the Vatican and they're going to say sainthood requires you to, you know, you need to perform 3 miracles and blah, 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 and some mess. That's some BS. Hey, to be a saint, you need to be from the lineage, from the seed of Israel. And that's a thing that's not being spoken of, man. Right now, you got this doctrine in the world where, you know, everyone's just one people. What you look like and where you come from doesn't matter. We're all just people. That's a complete lie. That's a complete lie, because we're in England. You go into the sticks in England, they'll be, look, man, they'll when the black guys around, they'll be talking bad about the Chinese and the Indians. When the Indian guys around, they'll be talking bad about the Chinese and the so-called black man. And then they'll just play them against each other, man. Just like, yeah, I don't know the fucking chinks. You go into the chinky shop. We're going to the patty cup for curry to the patties. That's how these guys get down, man. They're fucking devils, man. Go on.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not.
So the Bible's basically saying that's a prophecy, saying that there'll be men that will say they're Jews, but they're not. And I wonder who the thing is Israel they were called Judah for a time, but they would have tried to Judah, Benjamin, and Levi when the northern kingdom departed. And before then, it was a full 12 tribes. It's only in this modern day you've got everyone saying, "Oh, we're Jews." That's BS, man. That's nonsense. Because if the prophecy's been fulfilled, it said the two sticks will come back together, man. Northern and southern will come back together. Same in Amos as well. It says, "I'll mend the breaches thereof." Because back in the time of David, he had all 12 tribes rolling with him. So that's what going back to. So if these guys are just saying they're the Jews, then that does not line up with the Bible in the slightest. Go on. Yeah.
Which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
Yeah, they do lie. And the Lord said he's going to make them worship at our feet. Right now, they've got everyone coming and worshiping at their feet. These guys are still getting paid reparations for the so-called Holocaust. I was reading a fucking newspaper yesterday. They were saying Holocaust denial. I can't remember. It was no means no. Enough is enough. That was a hashtag. Enough is enough. The thing is that's basically. So we're talking about a period of history. They're just saying like, no, you can't even look. You can't even try and even look into that. You can't even think. Don't even know. That's what we know what happened. You deny that you're the devil. You're the spawn of Satan himself. They're trying to make Hitler out like he's the wickedest piece of shit on the planet Earth. There's people that have done worse things. Even if he did actually gas 6 million Jews, there's people that have done worse things, man. The British Empire's done worse things. Yep. You're having a laugh, mate. Go on, back in Daniel.
Well, quick precept on what you said about the blessing of Jacob.
Yeah.
This is Genesis 27, verse 28. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee.
Yeah, that's the blessing. That's the one Jacob got, innit? Yeah, that's the blessing we're meant to get. People bowing down. So the thing is the so-called black man in this society. He's been destroyed. He got his ass put in slavery. He got messed up mentally, and now he's at the point where he just thinks he's a slave. But he doesn't realize that we're people that are put on the earth to be put on a level above, man. Have everyone bowing down, serving man wine and grapes whilst he LV over a couch. That's part of what we're doing. We're the guys who are meant to be administrating this earth, man. The administration of the earth has been left to the so-called white man, and how is it going so far? It's not going very well. You got dolphins fucking leaping out of the ocean onto the ground. That's how toxified the ocean is, man. You got fucking water getting flushed in the toilet back into the water supply. And where was it? Detroit. That's what's going on. What kind of order or righteousness is going around the earth right now? Ain't none of it. And the West is basically the spearhead of unrighteousness in this world. What's a big thing they've been pushing out recently? That transgender, even sex robots. What the hell is the purpose of a sex robot? You're gonna create an android, and it's funny because they did like 2 shows recently. Westworld, which was just that was like meant to just be some like virtual well, not even virtual. It was like just a bunch of androids, and you can go there, you can blow people's heads off, and you can slam in like all the, like, you know, all the virtual pussy, all the robot pussy you want, man. And then what is it? Altered carbon as well, where they're making like just sleeves where you can chip in, chip out of the bodies at your pleasure, man. These are the kinds of things that this so-called white man's pushing out, and that's just completely off. What the hell do you need to? What the hell? Bro, the woman was made for the man. Like when you have sex with a woman, then children come of that. All kinds of goodness comes from that, man. But then instead of that, you're just gonna go be busting nuts on a robot. Oh! In some android pussies, man. Some motors, some gears, and some lights, some clockwork whirring behind that shit. What would even, why would you even need to do that? That's because everything's been thrown out of course. And that's why that mountain that's graven out needs to get smashed off the place, man.
Go back to Daniels?
Yeah.
Back in Daniels 2, we read from verse 35. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer, threshing floors, and the wind carried them away. But
yeah, that's all these heathen rulerships. Because the thing is even Babylon was ahead of gold, and Babylon did have an immense amount of beauty and splendor in the time where they were ruling, man. Them years where they had to rule, Babylon had a splendor on a level that's not been seen on the earth since. That's why it was ahead of gold, man. And that's why the pride of what's his name, Nebuchadnezzar. That's why he got so proud, because he was hey man, the Lord set him up on levels. And hey man, he was ruling. He was like, yo, I've got this on lock. But hey, the Lord said all of that and everything below, all the lesser rulerships that came after, they also got broken down. Hey, that's because the heathen rulerships are off, man. They ain't ruling in righteousness. How you got right now? They're talking about this is meant to be the most advanced age. How is this age so advanced when you got guys that are going around and what's the word? Preying on little children and grabbing them up and raping them up. What's advanced about that? You got guys performing sex rituals with children, and that's meant to be advanced, you know. People are trying to make synthetic meat out of shit. What is advanced about that? There's plants are made to bring forth in their kind. You plant, you look, man. You grow a plant of any kind. There's going to be a seed within it to grow another one. Bruv, the earth is plentiful. It provides for itself. It's to the point where you can actually, like, them forest fires that you get in Florida, when they burn out it might burn out the entire forest. After it burns out, give it like 10 years, 15 years, that shit will all start growing back. In a couple, like 50 years, you're gonna have an even healthier, better forest than what came before it. So that's spiritual. Imagine fire cleansed, and then it made a better place came after. That's the same thing that's gonna go down here. You got 2 Peter, 3. Might as well hold that. 3 and like 8. But go on, read a bit more.
And it says, but no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth.
Yeah, that's it. We can have that rulership and dominion over the entire planet Earth, man. And that's been a long time coming. And the Earth needs it, man. The Earth, hey, man, it's a breaking point, man. This guy's got fucking exhaust. I was watching a funny little documentary some guy put together, and it was basically going into how there's been multiple guys that basically create engines that run on water. And when you think about it for a second, it makes fucking sense. Because water is what? Hydrogen and oxygen. How the fuck are you not going to be able to combust hydrogen and oxygen? And that's just fucking water that falls from the sky. So it makes perfect sense. You can turn 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom into a source of fuel. But then basically what they said is there's guys that basically came up with this technology and they got blackballed to fuck. There was one in Australia, a guy in Australia who created an engine, and he basically had a car running on water, but then it's like the government had to come to him repeatedly and said, look man, you can't talk about this. Then in the end he got whacked. And then there was one in Japan that came out like 2008. They were on the news for a little bit about a car running off basically a hydrogen engine, which is runs from like water. So you pour water in the car and you're running. Obviously if the waste from that is going to be absolutely negative. It's like what steam's going to be coming out of the back. Because I was riding my bike behind a bus, and I was like, I'm riding hard, and I'm breathing in, and I'm like, hold on, I'm breathing in breath, and my body's in agony because it's exhaust fumes coming in. I'm like, imagine if it was running on water, that would just be steam. They ain't gonna be doing no harm to shit. But that's what the so-called white man does. He basically, true progress and development, he don't want that. Tesla's fucking free energy, man. This guy was basically gonna have energy. This is in the 1800s, man. The late 1800s. This is 2018. Whatever research they'll do in the 1800s, by now it's far gone beyond that. In the 1800s, Tesla came up with a way of transmitting energy through the fucking atmosphere. So you could just plug your USB into the air, and then you're gonna be charging your phone. All kinds of wireless technology. That's this guy, like, basically a lot of the modern technology, he laid the blueprints for it. But then that guy got, bruv, it was what JP Morgan was backing him. As soon as he found out that the electricity couldn't be measured to charge people, he deaded it, man. And the thing is people afterwards have basically created it and it works. So that's what this devil does, man. He ain't actually about progress or knowledge or wisdom. He's about rulership and power, man. Greed, owning everything. Yeah, go on. Bang, precept.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Yeah, that's it. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Because I'm sure even them Edomites that were getting their heads chopped off by King David, they were probably smiling when they went, man. Yo, because that's, the glory of King David. I'm like, the way he must have been going in, they were just like, to die at the hands of this guy. Hey, that's great. It's like them Vikings, man. Them guys, they died to a valiant warrior. Hey, they wanted to just die in battle with the most amount of glory, so they could go up into what they thought the heaven was. Where you go up to heaven, you just keep fighting, and then you just fight in eternal. That's what Valhalla's. Man, I'm thinking about going to Valhalla and having the glory of endless combat with Odin and Freyas and all that, man. Thor with his hammers there and shit. That's, but hey, that's, I'm like, so when the righteous rule, man, then it's just, hey, you can't help. But you're gonna be, when all kinds of righteous judgments coming out, hey, these heathen ain't gonna be complaining. They ain't gonna be begging for Esau. And the so-called white man is the unrighteous man, because what's going on, man? You gotta imagine the amount of fucking systems you got in this place, which is just based around destruction, man. You can have fucking car vehicles. You're talking about green vehicles, electric cars. The only reason that the fucking electric cars taken off is because they have them big charging stations, so you can go around and they can charge you a fat fee to stick in that giant plug and charge up your car. That's the only reason electric cars are popping off. No one was trying to have no shit about no electric cars before.
This is Isaiah chapter 24 and 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away.
Yeah, that's it. The earth mourns and the earth languishes, man. It's fading, it's being destroyed. And that's evident. You look around, man, there's been mass animal die-offs has been happening non-stop, man. What the fuck's going on? How are mass animal die-offs happening? And the thing is, if people are saying, the environment, the blah, blah, blah. The thing is, it's simple like the so-called white man's rulership, man. That's the one key the one key problem at the root of everything, man. Once the so-called white man gets dragged out of power, then everything's gonna go back to healing itself, man. Because believe it or not, you don't need to do anything to nature for it to fucking flourish. A tree, no matter what you do, that motherfucker will grow, man.
It says, the haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Yeah, it says what? The haughty people languish. So all these proud people that you got out here that basically think their shit don't stink and they're beyond judgment, hey, they're gonna be languishing too. Because, hey man, the thing is what the silliest part is everyone thinks everything's just gonna keep being alright. Nigga, shit, every kingdom that rose fell, man. Every time people thought everything was gonna keep going fine, then all of a sudden death and destruction came. And that's just how the Lord builds. Hey, this one is, the Lord's basically just building it up, building the pressure till it explodes. It's like a pipe, man. Or it's a hose pipe with a brick on top of it. like halfway through, where you can see the thing starting to go straight and it's expanding. And then once it all gets out, it's going to be that big flood, man. That wind that the angels are holding back. Because the only reason the destruction ain't coming is for the elect's sake.
I'll preach it for you. Psalm 75, verse 7. But Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another.
Yeah, the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he's the judge, man. And he chooses when and where a nation will rise and fall. And that's been the same from the beginning, man. Because that's why Nebuchadnezzar, that guy he got uplifted, he got proud as fuck in his heart. And then he just had, the Lord had him basically become as a beast. So he had to roll around eating grass for a period of time. That's, hey man, the Lord can get you. And the thing is people say, oh, well, you know, blah. Well, that's why you get people born deformed with mental illnesses. They're never gonna have the intelligence beyond the level of a 5-year-old. Or their fucking memory they might forget everything that happens on the previous day. They might never be able to fucking retain any parts of anything beyond temporary memories. Hey man, the Lord can mess you up, man.
The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
That's it, man. Transgress the laws, change the ordinance. Because what? Right now you got coming up, which is a big thing in the UK, Easter. And Easter, if you know anything, that's a pagan celebration, man. You got a bunch of children running around trying to find eggs. What the hell has that got to do with wine? A bunch of bunny rabbits and eggs. That's an Easter. That's a spring worship festival, man. That's a thing. Oh yeah. That's that Easter spirit, man. Everyone's, you're gonna have the kids running around. You're gonna hide the chocolate, the Kit Kat egg somewhere, behind the fucking wardrobe. And you can make the kids run around and try and find it. That's basically a reverence of demonic powers, powers, man. Because hey man, that Ishtar, that Easter, they go back to Ishtar, which is what? That Babylonian witch mysticism, which is one of the original forms of witchcraft that's still revered to this day. That Babylonian mysticism, these so-called Jews use that Talmud. That's Babylonian mysticism, man.
Well, if you want to hold this a second, I'll find it.
The goddess of fertility or something they say it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That fucking Babylon Jews, man.
Gone. Represented by rabbits, isn't it?
Weeping
for Tammuz. Weeping for Tammuz.
And all that shit. Man, it's off, man. Off for you, and then the thing is, you got niggas riding out for that shit. No, but for the kids, yeah. Your motherfuckers.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Gone.
This is Ezekiel 8 and verse 14, straight to the point. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was towards the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
Yeah, woman weeping for Tammuz, man. For that Caesarea boy. That's Tammuz in the modern day. That's at Caesarea.
No,
You got these black women all up in the church, tears in their eyes for that Tammuz now. It's that same spirit. That reverencing of Easter. They might go up in the church for like 24 hours, the 24-hour session, stay in the church, sweating it out from Good Friday until Easter Monday. Non-stop. Praising Satan. You're gonna be doing that. They ain't doing that. If it was a black man's image up there, they won't be doing that for shit, man. These guys are basically up in there praising that so-called white man, non-stop, like begging for blessings. That's completely off. What the fuck's wrong with our people? Got done for, man.
No, I'm calling to you.
Go on.
This is the book. This is Amos chapter 5 and 21. I despise your feast days.
Yeah. The Lord despises them feast days, man. What's being gained? In America they go like Thanksgiving. When they reverence Thanksgiving harder than they reverence Christmas. And Christmas is fucking epic, man. Christmas is epic. But that Thanksgiving as well, because that American juice, everyone's like, America is like meant to be the most ultimate country on the planet Earth. Them guys reverence that. What the Lord ain't dealing with no Thanksgivings. These guys have got a Thanksgiving, and then they're gonna be celebrating, basically massacring massacring Gath. All these feast days that Jake's upholding, they ain't got nothing to do with them, man. You got fucking like these Spicks, they hold up what is it, the Day of the Dead? Them guys are worshipping death. What the hell is wrong with you guys, man? The Lord ain't down with that. That's why, hey, look, man, the Lord ain't even dealing with the vast majority of Israel. Because they're through, man. How's the Lord come to deal with them?
It says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Yeah, that's it, man. The Lord ain't dealing with none of that. The Lord ain't down with that. The Lord's, hey, but, hey, that's why judgment's going to come, man. Because, hey, our people, they don't respect the word.
Yeah, good. Hey guys, it's just to let you know that there's one of the members of the public who said that you've been using expletive language. Obviously, it's only one person who's told us that, so whether he did or not, or whether you did or not, I don't know, but it's to let you know that obviously you can't use loud expletive words that might alarm members of the public. But as I say, I've not heard you say anything like that, just to make you aware. Okay, cool. Okay, well, have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, our people, they don't respect, basically, hey, the power, hey, they don't respect the Lord, man, and that the Lord can judge them for what they've done. So, hey, that's why, hey, man, at judgment, it says what? You know what, get 2 Peter 3, man, because I only get into that. Because, hey, man, the day is coming. It's going to be completely unexpected for a lot of our people, man. They're all up in the church praising up some white Jesus, but they're going to find out very soon that they ain't no protection for nothing.
This is This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and 7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment.
So yeah, like I was saying before, that fire is a cleansing agent, man. Because like with metal, when you have impurities, hey man, you can use fire to burn out them impurities. It's a